Hi, this is Graphically Alex coming at you with all things fat related. If that's something that interests you, please subscribe. I'd love to have you. So today I want to talk about the fact that I actually did watch The Whale. And a lot of you guys were asking my opinions on it and if I thought it was fat phobic or not. And I do have a lot to say. So I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm going to try to do a part without spoilers and then a part with spoilers. So we're starting the non-spoiler section now. So this movie, I remember when there was a lot of hatred about it coming out when it was set to come out. People were upset that they used Brendan Fraser, that they didn't use somebody who was actually 600 pounds, which is so stupid. But again, when you're in that fat activist headspace, you think somebody that is suffering with being 600 pounds is in a position to film, for 10, 12 hours straight or longer. I mean, when you work in Hollywood, we know this. There's a lot of work that goes into that. And so just kind of commenting on the overall concept, it is about this guy where he is very, very huge, and essentially he has a bit of a health complication in the beginning of the movie, which we will get into in the spoiler section. And it has to do with, like, he has his teenage daughter. He has this situation where he's trying to kind of reconnect with her, and there's just a lot to it. And then there is like a whole gay storyline. So it is actually a gay movie, which is crazy. So I would say overall it's complicated. Is the movie fat phobic? No. I don't think so. Yes and no. There's a partial yes, but it's mostly a no. So the movie is set in 2015. You actually hear the Republican primaries going on throughout a lot of the movie, which I found interesting. And it was obviously like when they were trying to figure out, like, it's like they talk a lot about Ted Cruz versus Trump versus whoever, right? So I was able to time it because of that aspect of the movie. And it was a trip just because the movie very, very plainly shows the health effects of being 600 pounds. So much so that it was very disturbing to watch. Like, me, my mom, and my grandma, we all watched it together and we're all fat. And it was tough to get through some of the scenes where he was having really terrible fat episodes, okay? Like moments where his heart is racing, he can't breathe very well, which, I have so much fear of that over the past few years. But for me, it was more of a hypo-anxiety related issue. I did actually go to the emergency room once because I thought I was having a cardiac episode and I wasn't. That could probably be a story time for another day. I probably should do a video on that. But anyways, crazy. That was a horrible night. Anyways, so there was that whole thing going on in the movie where it's like he's laughing or he's coughing. Like he's laughing and it turns into coughing and then like this kind of thing, and it's kind of jarring. And then there were scenes where he was eating lots and lots of food at once. And there was this one scene where it was so realistic, where he grabbed like pizza, he bought like 3 or 4 pizzas, and he he was just like digging into them because there was like an emotionally triggering event in the movie. He was just digging into all of them, and he like took this ranch sauce and just like drenched it all over, and then he grabbed like a loaf of bread and like put jelly on it. And it's kind of hard because I know like me and my mom at least, we struggle, or we have struggled. You know, I think my mom still struggles a bit more than me, but I don't really struggle at all anymore, thank God, it's in remission. But I struggled with BED, my mom did as well, and it was very triggering to watch, not in the sense of like, wow, it's so exciting, like I miss doing all that, but in a sense of like, ooh, like this is hitting close to home. Like when he was putting the jelly, just globs of jelly, or like turning the jar upside down and stuff, like onto bread and stuff, it's like I've done stuff like that. And that's really scary to see somebody portraying a 600-pound person that is dying doing that. It was very intense. And the whole movie was actually very intense. I was surprised. I'm used to things being more, I don't know what else to say, but more politically correct, I guess. I'm used to things being very safe. I haven't watched a movie, especially that came out in 2022, where it's something that is, you know, disgusting at times, borderline offensive, you know, something really taking a risk. I am surprised. I will say the movie was riveting. It was very, very interesting. I could not like stop watching it once it was on. So I will just say, like, it's not an uplifting movie at all. It's very scarring. And like I said, being fat and seeing it, it was definitely intense at times. And me and my mom both felt like we wanted to eat after. I told you guys that kind of fat shaming thing, or like when you instill fear in a person that's fat, like that stress response, it makes us want to eat. So it was kind of weird. My mom just had a smoothie. I didn't eat because, like I said, I had reached my calories already for the day, and I was like, I'm not eating anything, and I didn't. Oh gosh, lest your fat friend say that I'm showing thin piety today. Oh. Anyways, that's an inside joke from another video. The point is, I was just like really scarred on a lot of different chords. So I think I'm going to go ahead and pivot towards the spoiler section. So if you don't want to see the spoilers, then turn it off. If you want the tea, if you want what I think about the actual movie and its themes, we'll get into it. Okay, is everybody gone? Last warning. Okay. The movie started out with the main character at 600 pounds watching gay porn, Porn, and doing stuff. And I'm watching this with my mom and grandma. I was like, oh my God, I did not expect that at all. And it was really horrifying on so many levels. And this kid comes in and he's supposed to be like a religious person, like a missionary. And he sees it and it's like really scarring. And like really the entire conflict of the movie was his obesity. Like, it was very interesting to see a movie done this way. And I honestly don't know if I liked it or not. It was entertaining, but also horrifying, but also there was nothing really given to you. Like, I think a lot of it was gratuitous. I think a lot of it was done to sort of just get attention or Oscar bait or this kind of stuff, because It didn't really leave you with any particular lesson, hope, nothing. It was very, very disturbing on many, many levels. So the main character, he left his daughter and wife to be with a gay partner. And to be honest, there were times when I felt like the movie was, I don't know. There was a lot of like stuff, like a lot of characters in the movie were very homophobic, and it was just like this whole situation, like his daughter calls him an FAG. The religious guy that was the missionary, he's like bringing up Bible verses about how wrong it is and all this stuff, and like the guy's partner had unalived himself because he couldn't reconcile his faith with his attraction. And the whole thing was just so weird. And I just feel like a lot of times when I watch movies, I feel like a movie is pushing an agenda. Maybe that's just me being extra, but whatever, I just have to be honest. And to me, it felt like the whole objective of the movie, it was to kind of, it kind of just painted the guy as very wretched and very sad. And ultimately, like, there was no hope. Like, I'm pretty sure he passed away at the end. He had congestive heart failure and he didn't want to get treated. He didn't want to go to the hospital because he had a bunch of money saved up that he just wanted to give to his daughter. Like, and there was just a lot to it. I can't say it was bad though. I just think ultimately there was no purpose behind it, or there was no goal. There was no hope. Like, it was giving 13 Reasons Why. That's what it was giving. It was giving somebody being completely self-destructed or destructive, and it is what it is, and people just accepted it in a sense. And it was just odd because they painted it as if he had tried to like make his situation with his daughter better when he abandoned her when she was 8 years old to go be with a gay man. And then he's kind of just abandoning her again by dying because he couldn't give up eating, you know? And so, like I said, I'm not one to be like, oh my gosh, every single thing is homophobic ever. But honestly, to me, it was giving connections of obesity to gayness vibes to me. I don't know if that was intended, but it was very much there, you know, because there's the Bible verse about you must say no to your flesh and you may do this and that, and it was just weird. And of course they have to have the religious person be a hypocrite. Like, it was very anti-religion as a movie, which that's kind of Hollywood in general, but it was just really bad. I don't know, like I think it's one of those things where people maybe just wanted to watch a trash fire or something like that. It was very much a trash fire movie and just very like, there's no hope and just don't even try. And it didn't quite go as far as 13 Reasons Why, where they didn't like say he was right for doing that, but it wasn't enough of a condemnation. Like, the movie acted as if it was this hopeful thing, and it's like that he was kind of reconnecting with his daughter, but it also was like, again, a second abandonment. And the daughter very much felt that way, and it's like he still was the same. Like, so I don't know. I just feel like it was very strange. I don't know how I feel about it, honestly. I don't know if I would suggest watching it, to be real. It was very disturbing, honestly, and gratuitous, and there wasn't any real meaning to it, in my opinion. Like, they tried to, Like, they kept bringing up Moby Dick and the whale, and it's because, like, his daughter wrote this essay about Moby Dick and the whale, and the whale was kind of supposed to be his obesity, but it's like he never was able to conquer it, and it was just so disturbing overall. And I think as a fat person, I think maybe it was designed to kind of further black pill fat people about weight loss or something. Like, it almost felt like it wasn't promoting the idea of weight loss really. Like, it wasn't promoting anything good, I don't think. It was just toxicity, and that's it. And to me, it's like, whatever. Like, have a movie that's a trash fire, that's fine. But I don't know if I'd be like, oh yeah, like, this really is worthy of so many accolades. Like, I appreciate the risk of it. I appreciate that it actually wasn't PC. I appreciate that it actually, like, tried to push boundaries and tried to do something new. But I just think it needed probably something a little more than I'm gay, my partner unalived himself, I abandoned my daughter to be with him, and my love wasn't enough, and now I'm eating myself to the grave, and I'm abandoning my daughter again. I don't know. It's up to you guys if you want to watch it. I like I said, I don't know if it's necessarily fat phobic, but I would definitely say it's probably in a neutral category. I think I can see the arguments of why people say that, because I do think it inflamed people that already don't like fat people. And I think it didn't do much of anything other than just entertain and, you know, look at the freak show aspect of it. But it did condemn it in that sense, which is still something, and it still was reflecting truth. The prosthetics were done very well. It showed, like, his obesity and how he had to have all these different things in his house. Like, that part I liked a lot. And it did show the eating, which I appreciate as well, because that's very real. And so, overall, I'd have to rate it. It was not as bad as most movies today. I think it would probably be like a 7 out of 10. That's what I would give it. So it wasn't something that I'd plan on ever watching again, but it was an experience. It was entertaining. It was interesting. It was, like, riveting. And so, but it was also very disturbing and kind of pointless and a little bit gimmicky, I guess. Anyways, you guys, that was my thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Let me know if you saw it. Please comfort me in the comments if you saw this movie. Like, I feel very disturbed still. I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one. See you soon. Bye.